Well, would you look at that? It's time for another priority Q&A episode of the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and yet again, can't get rid of him. Right here beside me, my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Well, I mean, I'm like 2,000-something miles away from you, but sure, I'm beside you in spirit and everything.
In the galactic sense, we're practically touching.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess if that makes sense. If you go on based on that scale, I mean, we're on the same celestial body, so in some fashion, we are touching. It's weird to think about that, but sure. How you doing, buddy?
I'm excited because we have hit 3,000 subscribers for the BumbleKast.
We did? What?
We did.
Wow. This is incredible.
So thank you very much, everybody, for hitting that little button and appeasing the algorithmic gods. If you haven't subscribed yet, I mean, why not? 3,000 people are doing it. You might as well do it too. Jump off that bridge. Join the lemmings.
Do it. Do it. Do it. I dare you. I dare you.
And while we're pressuring you to do things, keep in mind we only have like a week left of the 40% sale over the Bumble Comic Shop. You guys have been purchasing a lot this month. Thank you so very much. I actually have been able to throw away one box. It is now empty. I got rid of a box of storage. Huzzah.
Time to go get more.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Sonic 50's around the corner, and that's going to be huge. But remember, all books are like regular shelf price. None of them are marked up. Even the rare variant stuff. All signatures are free, and your total order is 40% off. And if you are a patron of the BumbleKast, you can stack your automatic 10% off as well. So you can get 50% off.
Wow.
Just go nuts. Grab some stuff. It's not just Sonic stuff either. We got My Little Pony. We got Transformers. We got Star Wars. We got Mario. We got Minecraft, for crying out loud. So that Minecraft story I did is really, really cool looking, I gotta say. Like, I got spoiled for the artist. I had no control over it. I'm like, yeah, I'll just send in the story and see how it goes. And then I get the compilation. I'm like, oh, I have the best looking story in the book. Neat.
Yep.
Plus, there's like a what do you call it? A splash page done by Jennifer Hernandez of Sonic fame. So really, lots of reasons to pick up the book. Also, if you like Minecraft, and a lot of people do. So
how dare they? How dare people like Minecraft? They should like Craft Mine instead. I don't know. I don't understand any of this stuff, but what I do understand is questions, and that you have the answers to all of them, Ian.
Well, I can at least make noise in response to them.
Okay, good. I mean, I didn't say you had good answers to all of them.
These questions come from our $5 patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or from our YouTube members.
Indeed. And to start us off, we got this one here from Batman69, lol. What would Starline, Surge, and Kit's anti-counterparts be like, and how would the originals get along with them?
Anti-Starline would still be like a major Eggman historian, but hate him. Everything, like, he's still super neurotic about all of Eggman's exploits and all of his tech and all that he's done, and really wants to like interview him one-on-one and get into his psyche, but he just hates him. He wants to understand the monster, because why would something like that even exist? I must look into the abyss to understand it. Surge would be a self-confident and well-adjusted individual.
So Sonic? Yeah.
And Kit would be an assertive and independent individual who really doesn't like spending time with Surge.
Wow. That's weird.
Now, Vanilla Starline, Anti-Starline, they would have some common ground, what with their interest in Eggman, but they would be diametrically opposed to everything else. They would agree that this thing was brilliant, or this piece of tech was, fascinating, but for completely different reasons.
Yes.
Vanilla Surge would hate Anti-Surge just because she's everything she wishes she was, but she would never admit that. Whereas Anti-Surge would kind of be sympathetic, like, that's rough. I wish I could help you, but you don't want to be helped. So I'm just going to walk away real easy here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Likewise, Auntie Kit would be like, oh, you are a mess, and I'm kind of glad I'm not you. Do you want help? No? Okay, well, I'm over here if you need me. Well, over here. I'm striking distance. Just give me a holler.
If you need me, you better not ever need me.
I'm here if you need me. I don't want you to need me, but I'm here. So I have the moral high ground still.
Wow. Okay. So terrible people all around then.
Yeah, still.
Amazing. It's great. It's great. I like it. Here's a question from Axis. After learning how strict SEGA can be with some character traits, like Knuckles not leaving the Master Emerald unguarded, I was wondering how strict they are about Blaze appearing in Sonic's dimension more often and with no world-ending stakes involved. Like Blaze taking a day off to pay a casual visit since her kingdom is at peace, or like showing up to help with a small threat as a sign of gratitude to Sonic. I think the powers that be should try to give her more time in the spotlight since she's one of the main characters with so much potential and still very few stories in both games and comics.
It's especially frustrating because there was a piece of official art that came out not too long ago of Knuckles just visiting Metal City with like luggage. He's just on a trip. And it's like, oh, so he can leave the island? Is that how?
Mm-hmm.
As for Blaze, you're right. And I'm just going to have to leave this with a hashtag knowing smile.
Oh boy. Oh boy. More Blaze. Please. Do it. Do it now. Here's a question from Non-Dull. Mega Man question. What do you think happened to Axel between the Elf Wars and the ZX series? Or rather, how would you explain it?
Oh boy. I would really have to do my research again. I can't remember now if somebody did do transcripts of the old radio dramas of the Elf Wars or if that was something I asked about years ago, and I don't know. Either way, I'd really have to sit down and look at it all. What I would like to see for Axel, at least in the immediate future, is it's pretty clear that he's supposed to be infected by the end of X8 was the last one.
8.
And
yeah, 8's the last X game.
And, you know, him being a next generation Reploid and that whole being able to take on the forms of whoever else he's copied the data from, that's prime ground for Sigma to just like body horror take over and be reborn. So what I would love to see in an X9 is like if Axel has his own campaign, you know, you can actively fight off the Sigma possession and Axel can become the big hero that he's always wanted to be by finally putting down Sigma, like cutting him off there so that the disease can no longer spread. Where to go from Elf Wars and into ZX, I'm not 100% sure. I would like to change it so that the, the Model A metal that looks like Axel and has characteristics of Axel just, you know, be made off of Axel. I feel like the misdirection that was built into it serves no purpose.
Yeah.
So how you get from the legendary Reploids to the metals, I think it might not be 100% clear. It's, again, I'd have to do my research, but I would like to at least kind of follow up on that and make a stronger connection. But I don't want to answer that with 100% certainty right here when I'm super, super vague on the details.
Right. Alrighty. Here's a question from Steph Cube. I understand that you can't read stories written by fans because you might accidentally copy someone else's ideas, but I was wondering, how else can fans like me, who like to write fanfics, know that our stories are really good if the professionals can't read our works?
Show them to other people. Like, you're writing them for the joy of writing them. Share them. If you want them just for yourself, then it doesn't matter if they're good or bad. If you're enjoying writing, you've accomplished it. Kudos. Good job. You put text to page. That's all that's needed. If you want feedback, if you want to share it with other people, put it out there. I mean, there's a number of websites, or keep it to your circle of friends. And they may not have a, critical eye for it, but if they enjoy it or if they have, constructive feedback, that's still feedback. That's still something for you to take in and consider and grow from. If you want like a professional review on how to improve your craft, then write something original. And that can be as easy as write your fanfic and change the names. I worked for frickin' Twilight, so...
Control F.
No, it's 50 Shades of Grey that was based off of Twilight, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Control F. I mean, one of them is semi-original.
So I mean, if they can get movie deals off of that schlock, you have no fear. Have no fear. Put it out there.
Yeah.
Write your stories about Speedy the Porcupine and his magical world of Sobium. Just do it. Who cares, man?
Yes.
As long as you're enjoying yourself and you're not infringing on copyright. And find your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's also a chance to get like paid consultations with professionals, or, share your portfolio with them. Like if you were interested in moving into professional work, you definitely want to put together some kind of portfolio. And I think even then it would be like fanfic would probably be okay in that sense, because maybe it's fanfic of something else that the person you're giving it to is not involved in. Like,
yeah,
something like that. I think Ian's a bit more strict than most about stuff.
I'm borderline paranoid.
You are excessively just you're a bit paranoid about it, and rightfully so, understandable considering the history of lawsuits in this franchise and stuff like that. So yeah, I get it, but I mean, you're a bit more cautious than most. So I think most others would be more receptive, but it just kind of depends.
Yeah, I mean, worst you can do is reach out to somebody that you admire and say, "Hi, I like your stuff. I aspire to write like you. Would you be open to reading this over?" And if they say no, then thank you for your time and consideration.
Mm-hmm.
No harm, no foul. And if they're a jerk about it, well, then you shouldn't read their stuff anymore anyway, because they're a jerk.
Sounds like it.
And if I'm a jerk, I'm sorry. Maybe I was cranky that day.
Yeah, well, it happens. Here's this one from Sam Cybercat. I know you've said a few times that you're not super familiar with Fleetway, but I'm curious, if you were able to, how would you adapt Techno the Canary into modern Sonic? I've always felt she has a really cool design that could work well with the current cast.
Techno was kind of tech savvy, a la Tails is now, yeah?
I mean, you might know better than I do.
I feel like I do remember that she was besties with Amy, and they went on crazy adventures together. So
okay, oh, she's the green haired girl. Okay,
I don't know. Put her as one of the primary supporting cast members to an ongoing Amy thing. Like, give Amy some focus and make Techno her bestie again. Maybe make her the Tails to her Sonic. Not saying it has to be a one-to-one thing. You don't want to just repeat the same material again. Mm-hmm. But Amy would approach adversity in a different way Sonic would, and she would need support in different ways. Therefore, Techno can, support that in her own particular way.
Yep.
Tails still has that level of admiration and that almost found family bond with Sonic. Techno and Amy are just besties. They're good friends. That's a completely different dynamic as well. So
yeah,
maybe go that route.
Not bad. I like it. Here's a question from Scourge Time. Sonic in his werehog form still has Sonic's good heart due to his will, which is too strong for Dark Gaia to affect. How would this work on Scourge, and would she totally go crazy? Also, how would the Light Gaia and Dark Gaia work on Moebius? Evil Chip?
To keep it simple, we'll just say Scourge is on Mobius Prime during the Gaia event, and he gets all Dark Gaia. He'd go werehog, but he's already just evil, so there's nothing to corrupt. It would he'd own it. Like, he'd go werehog and go, yeah, all right, let's rip stuff up. And then you'd have this, oh man, he'd look cool too. Like, imagine like the flames of the jacket just become like the fur pattern going up those big gorilla arms. I don't know if the shades should just still be like little shades on his nose, or if he should get like them imprinted into like a mask over his face, raccoon style.
I don't know.
That could be cool. I don't know. It could be goofy. It could be cool.
Well, I mean, Werehog was pretty goofy to begin with, so
yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
But yeah, he would still go Werehog, and he would still retain himself, but for completely different reasons.
Right.
He would just be, inherently evil, and therefore he's just got a different way to express it.
Yes.
Werehog Scourge versus Werehog Sonic. That would have been neat to see. Dadgummit. Fan artists, you know what to do.
Of course.
As for on Anti-Mobius, yeah. So, planet splits open, and you've got this giant, horrific, multi-eyeball snake god, and that's Light Gaia now. And it's just reaching out, going, oh no, I gotta put the planet back together. I'm sorry, I'll put it back together. Reaching out with these horrible continent-long Eldritch fingers and just very ever so gently pulling continents back into place. Sorry, did anybody fall off? I'll put you back. And then meanwhile, you have this snotty little nasty chip flying around, annoying people. Yeah, there was an off panel kind of along that lines.
Yeah. Yep.
Just stealing people's food, being a jerk the whole time.
Rude. Stealing people's ice cream. Ice cream. Here's a question from Quaggle Gaggle. I may be misremembering, but back when Sonic X ended and Sonic Universe began, I have this memory reading somewhere, maybe the back of the issue, that Universe was open to all sorts of worlds, not just Archie, even hinting at a chance of the X Universe maybe popping back up. Clearly, that didn't happen, thankfully, but having seen the cover for a Sonic Underground finale that got kiboshed, was that always meant to be a part of the book's DNA? Given the years later sequel and the Dark Enerjack story, they were definitely adjacent to the main book, but some were a lot looser canon than others. Was there an interest to tell stories not just tied down to the Archieverse, but after the hassle with SEGA, it just became more of a world-building book? I'm assuming it was, that it'd have to be for a special occasion like Milestones. Or did I imagine seeing that idea somewhere? I honestly can't remember at this point.
No, it sounds familiar. And I think that might have been a possibility early on, but then once X was put out to pasture, that was it. There was no going back to it. And the allure of having a sister book where we could just explore more characters and ideas, kind of overrule that. It's like, oh, we have tons of characters and tons of stories to tell, and 2 books. Gee darn. I think early on, the plan was to have at least 1 arc per year be some kind of Elseworldy thing. The X years later, the Light and Dark Mobius and so forth. But I can't remember there being a conscious decision to focus purely on it being the sister book. That just kind of came about, especially post-reboot, where it's like, okay, we don't really have the alternate realities to play with anymore, so let's just use this opportunity to world build now that we've had to start from scratch.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool to have a bit more of that, but, at least it was a good opportunity to build out the world a bit more and flesh out the characters that otherwise would not get much attention. So I miss having a universe book for IDW.
Mm-hmm. Keep writing in. Keep saying that you want to make it happen.
I want it. Here's a question from Chaos Sonic 1. Since gas stations still use the Sonic sound-grabbing ring sound effects when paying for something, it does make the no-money situation awkward, if you ask me.
Here's something that'll really fry your noodle. Do they have gas on Sonic's World?
I mean, Sonic eats a lot of chili, so probably.
That kind of gas!
I mean, they have cars. Do the cars? I'm wondering.
Do they run on chaos drives?
How do the cars move? What do they run on?
Are there a bunch of little flickies and pockies on little hamster wheels?
What are the planes? Yeah, Tails has a plane that's got jet fuel in it because it's got a rocket on the bottom. So, I don't know, man.
Does everything run on You know, electricity, is everything like ethanol? How does it work?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Inside the tornado's jet engine are just a couple little pickies shoveling coal as fast as they can.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Are the engines sound like they're internal combustion based on the games and what the cars sound like, but I don't know.
It's just a Pocky going.
Yeah, it's like the fake Tesla engine sounds. Fake Tesla engine sounds. God. It's funny. I was out and about the other day and I heard that and I'm like, dude, that's awful. Like, that's so lame. Why would you do that? Terrible. Just terrible. Yeah. Oh well. Here's a question from Afro Luffy. How would you handle writing a Sonic Elseworlds tale akin to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns? And what would Sonic's personality be in this scenario?
I don't know if that would really fit Sonic.
Is he the goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to take bleak Sonic particularly serious. And this is coming from me, okay? I could see more of a Shadow-esque interpretation of it. You know, he's stopped doing whatever it is he's doing for however long and then decides to get back into the swing of things. But I don't know. The whole appeal of Sonic is that he doesn't give up. He doesn't lose faith. And, you know, he can still get angry. He can still realize that he's up against the wall and things are not going to go his way, but he's still going to try. And if I don't know. I don't know. Like, if it was kind of done as a parody, maybe, but even then, why spend time on a Sonic book parodying something else? That's how they used to do it way back in the day, but that was back when it was a jokey animal book. Sonic is strong enough to endure on his own now, so I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it myself.
Yeah. You can write that one. Someone else can write that one. Have fun with that. And we got a pair of questions here, actually, that just happen to be on pretty much the same topic. So we're going to combine them together. From Jams, spoilers maybe for the Chip and Dale movie. What are y'all's thoughts on the ugly Sonic design coming back with the voice of Tim Robinson in the new Chip and Dale movie? Is that even real? Wondering if either of you watched the show I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. And then from Jamal S., what's your opinion on ugly movie Sonic being in the new Chip and Dale movie? Do you both think the ugly movie Sonic will make a comeback someday or not in Sonic media?
So, not to be a killjoy, but I'm kind of tired of this joke. Like, we get it. There was a really bad ugly Sonic CG render, and people lost their heads over it, and we've long since moved on.
Hey, remember this funny joke from 3 years ago? That just goes to show you how long it takes for these things to get made.
Yeah.
Because this was probably funny and relevant back when it was going on.
Yeah,
so.
That and I haven't seen the movie itself, but everything I've seen from the trailers and read in the reviews, it's just so cynical that I don't want to. Like, the whole idea of ugly Sonic is someone who is coasting by on recognition through ridicule and paying his bills on the con circuit is depressing. It's not funny to me. It's like kicking someone while they're down. I don't know. It's not for me. But I will say that it does seem to fit into this interesting trend of what the fandom seems to be doing lately, where something comes out, it gets torn to shreds, and then a few years later, it's embraced all the same. We hated you then, but you're one of us, so we will defend you now. Sonic 06, it wasn't that bad. It's just misunderstood.
Well,
Sonic Unleashed, yeah, it had its problems, but it was still fun. It was one of the best, Boost Sonic games.
Yeah, no, Ian, that's just because the people who were kids when those games came out and it was like the first Sonic game they played, they're adults now, so now they feel the need to defend it.
Ugly Sonic was, how dare you misrepresent our mascot? Oh, it's a funny joke. It's part of our culture now.
Yeah.
Right now, colors and generations are being thrown under the bus. Give it 2-3 years, they're going to be recognized again as absolute genius.
Probably.
Give it another 2 years, Mania will be on the chopping block, and then again, 2, 3, 5 years later, it'll be, oh yeah, that was great. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting that the fandom, given enough time, will embrace everything about the franchise. Find something to love about it, warts and all. And that's kind of nice.
And do you ever...
That's a good thing.
Do you ever think Forces will come back around and people will like that one?
I've already seen one person's hot take that Generations was trash and Forces was the superior game. Which is wrong. I'm sorry, objectively, but we're already seeing it's the new Sonic cycle, man.
It is. Here's the thing: I think people were too harsh on Forces personally, but I don't think it's an amazing game. I don't think it's super great. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think the hatred of it is weird and extreme and kind of odd. Like, it's mediocre. It does not really evoke. It should not evoke a strong emotion. But I guess maybe that's the problem. It doesn't evoke any strong emotions, and that gets people real mad about it. Maybe that's why. I don't get it, man.
Forces was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
I mean,
I had fun with it.
The story is terrible, but I mean, it's a Sonic game.
It was playable. The avatar was neat. The Wispons were neat.
I mean, the avatar thing was a brilliant idea. Like, being able to make your own OC and have your own OC run along with Sonic and be best friends with Sonic. Like, this is like that's like the perfect game. You'd think that would be like the perfect formula. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, well. Also, as far as Tim Robinson, I know nothing about the guy. It's the first time I've ever heard of him. So I have not seen his show. I didn't even know he had a show.
Likewise.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm missing the joke there, too, but
I don't know. Oh, well.
All I know is I'm real tired of seeing that up-close shot of his face just popping up in my timeline. It's like a mild jump scare every mouse wheel scroll. It's like, okay, we get it. He's ugly. Can we stop it?
We get it. He has teeth. That's just proof you follow too many Sonic people. It'll be like me and sequester as many of them off into their own list as possible. Here's one from Professor Rye, and we'll take a quick break. Hi, a question for Mr. Flynn. In episode 2F09, where Sonic plays Eggman's skeleton like a xylophone, then strikes the same rib twice in succession, yet he produces two clearly different tones. I mean, what are we to believe? That this is some sort of magic xylophone or something? Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Let me answer your question with another question. Why would someone named Professor Rye spend all their time scrutinizing a Sonic cartoon? Do you withdraw the question?
Did you get fired? Somebody got fired. Speaking of which, we're gonna fire ourselves right now for a few minutes and take a quick break. I'm gonna fire. You're all fired. Everybody listening is fired from listening to us for a few minutes, and then we'll be right back. We'll be back, and you'll be rehired. And you've been rehired, and so we have more questions. Beginning with this one from Pedanticat. How would you approach writing a DuckTales 2017 cross Sonic the Hedgehog crossover, Ian? Which of Scrooge's enemies would Eggman team up with? Which characters between the two properties would hit it off? And would you want to throw in a certain daring duck of mystery and champion of right to make it even more fun? Feel free to jump in on what you think would be cool to see in such a crossover as well, Kyle.
Well, I think the obvious is right there. It's Eggman and Glomgold.
Flynn Hart Glomgold.
I mean, come on. You had me at golden rings, huh?
Yes! He's back, baby!
And there's one 7 of these Chaos Emeralds. The scarcity will drive the price through the roof. I'm a golden god, McDuck.
He's back.
What do you mean I gotta spin the rings to maintain a super state? Oh, forget that. They're going back in the vault.
Super Glomgold. Yes. Yes. Brilliant.
He's just flying around going ta 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 ta. He insists the Death Egg robot wears a kilt.
Yes.
Don't worry, Eggy. I installed an automatic caber toss button just to make it authentic. But why? Because he's wearing a kilt, you madman!
I think Eggman just regrets this. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
He regrets this.
From the word go.
Yes.
I imagine Scrooge would be the front man to kind of shepherd the story along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas everyone else kind of orbits around him. There's got to be a joke in there somewhere about Dewey saying that Sonic sounds awfully familiar.
Why do we sound so similar? I don't understand. It's very confusing.
Maybe it's a blue thing.
Yeah, we're both blue, you know? Yeah.
I mean, Amy and Webby getting into trouble.
Oh, yes.
Also a given.
Yes. God, I love the 2017 version of Webby. She is fantastic.
Let's see here.
Boyd versus Metal Sonic. Yeah.
Huey and Tails would nerd out together.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. The thing is, Dewey's greed and scheming doesn't particularly fit with a lot of the characters unless he gets his own B plot with the Chaotix.
Yeah,
he tries to convince
with Vector.
That, yeah, he tries to convince him that this whole detective thing, it's not going to go anywhere. What you need to do is this current get rich quick scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and again, we just check in on them, and the car wash is on fire, or that blockchain warehouse is on fire, or Charmy's on fire, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I would save Darkwing for the sequel, because that's a lot. Keep the first one kind of light and fun, and lots of, fun little Easter eggs and in jokes, and Glomgold making a mess out of the entire debacle.
Oh, of course.
And then once you've established things and the nice rapport between the cast, then you can get a little more extended, and you have Knuckles and Darkwing taking on some kind of larger threat.
Would it be Knuckles and Darkwing?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Knuckles is, a very serious protector, and this Darkwing fellow seems to know what he's talking about.
I was thinking
Launchpad vouches for him, so yeah, sure.
I was thinking Shadow was...
Shadow would see through Darkwing in a heartbeat.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. Darkwing is not actually serious. He's not actually Batman.
No, but Knuckles would go for it.
Would Tails let Launchpad fly the tornado?
Once.
And then
only once.
Well, yeah, because after that there would be no more tornado. Gizmo Duck and Omega, yes. 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 And then at some point Dewey has to say, "Let's do it to it."
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Noni. That's a great one.
We're going to end it there because you cannot hit a higher note than
I mean, Louis and Rouge would be funny. I mean, they'd probably get along pretty well.
Yeah, all right.
Rouge and Goldie, yes.
Good Lord, they'd rob the entire multiverse blind.
This is incredible. Holy crap. I love this. I think it's time, Ian. I think it's. How do you do this? Like, who's got DuckTales? Who's got the license?
I think Boom does.
Do they? Okay, well,
I think
I'm being told IDW does.
Do they?
If they do, I think you know what to do. IDW has a DuckTales comic, from what I'm being told. I think you know what needs to happen now, Ian.
Well,
I think you know what you need to pitch. It is IDW.
All right.
Wow. All right. This crossover was ready-made, I think, buddy. I think it's time. Woo. Anyway, let's move on to the next question here from Speedweed. So, given Ravenbeak had the idea of cloning Samus into a literal bioweapon of mass destruction, I always wondered if something like that could be used to explore Ravenbeak as a character, and how a cloned Samus relationship would work with said supreme Mockin leader, especially given her modified genetics and origins. Plus that and the clash could create with Samus herself. Do you think something like that could work out, or is the Samus doppelganger trope wearing itself a little thin given the existence or former existence of Dark Samus and the SAX?
That is my chief concern. We've already had 2 evil Samus clones. And not going to lie, when I was playing through Dread, I honestly thought the big twist was going to be that after Samus gets knocked out and she's back to her base power set, that you were playing as like an ex-Parasite copy the whole time. And the big reveal was that the real Samus had been gallivanting around the planet and wasn't quite sure where they were going with that. And it turned out they weren't going that direction at all, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It does offer fertile ground, like would because Ravenbeak had a kind of sort of paper thin father figure role to Samus, at least in part with her creation. So seeing that through the lens of a version of Samus that he has fully created and controlled could be, that kind of creepy, overbearing parent living vicariously through their child vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But the question would be, what would you do with Samus clone number 3? What would you do differently about her? What is her distinction from main Samus? Because at least with Dark Samus, she looked different. And with SAX, again, you had the visual difference of the full power suit versus the new Metroid suit. So what does this particular clone bring to the table visually that would make it distinctive? I don't know, maybe some Emmy-styled armor? That might be kind of neat. But anyway, point is, what does this bring to the table that the other 2 clones didn't already? Like, Dark Samus was the almost premonition of what will happen to Samus if the phase on corruption is not stopped. Her very existence is this illustration of bad end. And SAX was, here is Samus from the other side of the beam cannon. This is what space pirates see. Mm-hmm. This is what the bugs see. You are the bug. Run.
Run and ultimately fail.
What would Razor Samus bring to the table thematically that hasn't already been explored? And I don't have an answer for that off the top of my head. It could be interesting to be explored if you sit there and you pull that thread long enough, but it doesn't as immediately spring to mind as some other stuff. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. Somebody else might, be listening to this going, "You fool. Obviously you could do this with it." And it'd be like, yeah, that'd be super cool. Mm-hmm. But I'm not immediately seeing it to justify here is Clone Samus Part 3,
Yeah.
I'm going to actually be thinking about this after this, and I'll come up with something, I'm sure. So,
yeah, well.
Why must you curse me, Speedweed? I don't know. Maybe I'll write something up and put it on my personal Patreon.
Nice. Here's a question from Exadel. Would you think Eggman would be knowledgeable enough in biological science, like his grandfather, to recreate the results of Project Shadow? Or to create a clone of Sonic? Or is he so utterly proud of his robotics that he would scoff at the idea of a biomechanical creation like Shadow?
My understanding is officially Gerald is on a completely other level than Eggman. Like Eggman's a genius, but Gerald was like a whole other league. So while Eggman is certainly great with robots, I believe internally it's thought that he couldn't do what Gerald has done. And that's why we get, a whole army of Shadow clone knockoffs with the Shadow androids. Or we have, various incarnations of Metal Sonic and Mecha Sonic. He can't quite do what Gerald did to create Shadow.
Yeah. Eggman's he's not good enough. He needs to get good. He's a scrub. Scrub Eggman. Scrub. Here's a question from X. Say Hypersonic was given the go-ahead to be used in the comics. If he were to be, how the hell would he be colored? Some weird rainbow pattern? Pure white? How would you envision it?
I always thought, and this is coming from the writer who doesn't have to worry about any of this, that you would do white and then every panel appearance, it would be a different highlight color. Because Hyper cycles through the Chaos Emerald colors. So like panel 1, he would have green highlights on the white. Panel 2 would be the red highlights on the white. Just to kind of emulate that cycling of color. That'd be an absolute nightmare to keep track of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it'd probably be extremely tedious, and there might be a better way visually to do that with someone who's more artistically inclined. But that's the way I've thought about it in the past.
Colorist would hate you. It would hate you, and it would be wildly inconsistent, and people would take panels out of context and be like, what the heck is going on with Sonic here, and here, and here? Oh no, it's green Sonic. Oh no!
Another way that might be neat is if, and again, this would be probably a nightmare to keep up with, but if the spines and the luminous parts were colored over the line art so that his shape was defined by the colors, not by any kind of hard outline. You would still have the hard outlines of the face and the limbs to show that he's kind of like emerging from this constantly strobing light. But I don't know if that would work visually or if that would just be muddy. I don't know. It needs to be handled by someone with talent.
Yeah. Yes. It's true. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into a question here from Lemur Chicken. Zavok seems to be a fairly decent tactician, using Whisper's mask against her and then using that to quickly dispatch Tangle in Zeddy Hunt. How would he handle potential teams he hasn't fought, like Silver and Blaze, the Babylon Rogues, or the Chaotix, either with or without the rest of the Deadly Six involved?
I don't know if I would call him a tactician so much as he's observant. Like he didn't plan to deal with Whisper, but he was very quick on the draw in terms of, oh, that's some kind of electrical device in there. I can take advantage of it. He gets caught off guard with a few punches from Tangle's tail, but then realizes this is attached to somebody. I'm just going to bang them against the wall till they stop moving. He's not, maybe that's tactical. I don't know. I feel like it's different. It's not tactical to me is like Sally, someone who plans ahead, someone who looks at all the angles, someone who does their research and tries to put together a game plan beforehand. Whereas Zavok is move in, crush anything in front of you, and if something is stopping that plan, what is the best and most efficient way to get past it?
Right.
Pragmatism, maybe? I don't know. There is a degree, though, that we see in Lost World where he sends Xena and Zaz and some of the others out ahead to challenge Sonic to get kind of a feel for him before he engages himself. So, in that regard, if he does have the Deadly Six on hand, he would likely send them out against Blaze and Silver or the Rogues or Chaotix first. Let them take the lumps, and they go, okay, that's how they operate. Now I know how to take them apart. By himself, he would probably just try to overpower them, but as he was met with, fire and speed and whatnot, he'd figure out some way around it pretty quick, or at the very least understand, okay, if I can power through this much, I can get in close and into the fight.
Yeah, that makes sense. Here's one from Miggy Sawdust. It's a great name. Do you think that for Frontiers or any future Sonic game, Crush 40 should do a cover of Blue by Eiffel 65 for Sonic's main theme?
I meant to look this up and I forgot to.
Blue dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba dabba dee dabba die. Anyway, yes, that's what it is. That's the song.
I don't know if that would be appropriate for any Sonic game, but I'm pretty much game for Crush 40 doing a cover of Nigh Upon anything.
How about Crush 40 doing a cover of Eiffel 65's PlayStation?
Don't know that one off the top of my head, but I'm going to stand by it. I will listen to Crush 40 cover just about anything.
Well, I mean, it's literally just Eiffel 65 listing off all of the PlayStation games they like. That's all it is.
Crush 40 could still make it rock.
Yeah, I mean, they could. There's no mention of Sonic within it at all.
That's fine.
Yeah. It's PlayStation song, but let me see. Or My Console. I don't know. There's so many different lyrics to it. So here's the list of what they... It's basically the same song as Blue, like the same music, essentially. The main chorus is, we're going to play the game, the PlayStation, all day. We're from Metal Gear Solid to Tekken 3, and from Omega Boost to Resident Evil. Just play for the fun, because we got it going on. And then the verse is just Tekken 3, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Gran Turismo, Omega Boost, Bloody Roar, X-Files, All Over the World, come on, Ridge Racer, Oddworld, Winning 11, the game on the PlayStation. And those are all the lyrics.
Still would listen to Crush 40 do it.
And then, oh wait, nope, they mentioned, let's see, nope, never mind. I was going to say they mentioned another game at the end, but no, they don't. It's just Ridge Racer again. Ridge Racer! And that's it. That's all it is. It's called My Console by Eiffel 65, and that's apparently all the games they played. Not a very not a very wide variety there. Oh well. Then again, it was probably before some of the bigger PlayStation games. So anyway, Crush 40 should cover that just for fun. Here's one from Off. Character creation is a fun process. Who actually came up with Tangle? Just curious. Been seeing some folks who seem to be confused about how making up a new character actually works, so I figured I'd ask.
It was a collaborative process. Like, I could be very tunnel vision and say, I came up with Tangle because I introduced the concept of a scrapper character. But Tyson did the designs, and the character was workshopped with the editors at the time, and SEGA had their input on, the species and the look. So we all collaborated to make Tangle.
Totally. She's just a recolored Sally, though. No. Wasn't she a rabbit originally or something?
I pitched her as Tangle the Hare, yeah, but I like what we came up with in the end.
Yeah. All right. And we got a question here from Archfighter. I checked and didn't see this question asked before, but have you played the Freedom Planet video game? If you have, how might you pitch a crossover comic between Sonic and Freedom Planet?
I played some of it, and in just like the arcade mode, the just straight game mode.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever finished any of the campaigns because there was always some part I got stuck on.
It's really long, and the bosses are pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty long game.
So I know I never finished it, and I am not familiar with the story mode at all, so I cannot begin to speculate on crossover stuff.
The story mode is kind of like, it feels pretty heavily inspired by Archie Sonic in a lot of ways.
That's what I heard.
It's got a lot of melodrama and stuff in it. But it's a great game. I quite like it. As far as like it being a Sonic fan game originally that then became its own thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the game like just becoming its own thing and then being strong on its own merits. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fan game all the time. So
yeah, absolutely,
it's a great game.
You can see its DNA, but it is very clearly its own thing.
Right.
So kudos to the team on that. And if the opportunity arose, I would, I'm sure there's some kind of story mode YouTube video out there that I could research, because I have not the skill to do it myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tone it shifts quite a bit. It varies quite wildly. It's sometimes you got decapitation, and sometimes you just got three friends hanging out and having a good time. It's like Archie Sonic. Well, I hope we get the second one eventually at some point. It has been a long time coming, so I'm looking forward to it. And our last question for this episode comes to us courtesy of the internet person. No, not that internet person. No, not that internet person either. That internet person. Movie and Game Sonic team up to take over the multiverse. How does it go, and how do the two Eggmen get along, and what do they think of each other?
Of all the team-ups we've been asked about on the show, I see this one as the most stable for the longest amount of time.
This is kind of the most pedestrian in a sense.
I feel like they're the closest incarnations to each other.
We would get, this is kind of like classic and modern Eggman teaming up in generations.
Just about. Given that it's Jim Carrey's Robotnik, I'm sure there'd be a line early on where he's like, "My own clone. I'll never be lonely again." But
that you channeled this Jim Carrey quite well, apparently.
Thank you very much.
Can't believe he's still doing that after 30 years. He's still acting the same way.
But I imagine they would actually get along for the longest time. They're on about the same wavelength. They have about the same scope and goals. And if anything, modern Eggman would be like, why think of one world when we could think of all worlds? And movie Eggman would be, yes, of course. The vile but inevitable betrayal would, of course, happen. But I almost see it coming across as in a form of mutual respect. Like, here we are in the third act, and the end boss is falling apart because they've double-crossed each other, and it's like, oh, well, that was a rather brilliant way of doing it. Why, thank you. And I actually didn't see this one coming. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't see the application. Well executed. Yes, thank you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you too. A gentleman's agreement to destroy each other.
Of course. Murder. It's all about murder.
But I think in this scenario, it wouldn't really be down to the Sonic saving the day. I think it actually would just be they would have won if they couldn't get past their own egos.
Yeah. Yep. Agent Stone with Orbot and Cubot, though. That's almost a better crossover than the two of them. How wholesome.
Lattes, you say? No, our boss just enjoys incredibly realistic-looking sandwiches.
Realistic-looking sandwiches? Not real sandwiches, just realistic-looking ones? Weird, but okay.
We've dealt with a lot of weird things in the multiverse. I don't question it anymore.
Well...
I don't question much anything anyway, because I don't understand it to begin with.
I think that would mean he questions everything. Just not verbally.
Cubot blows a fuse. Oh dear, you hit him with another existential question.
Something like that. Well, with that, we have reached the end of this episode of the BumbleKast.
But before we go, we're going to give a big thank you to everyone who makes this show possible through their patronage. Big thank you to Daniel H., Alex P., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Mike B., Coupling Crew 128, Dave M., Din, Andrew D., Off, Salute Your Cat, Jay Frost, Scruffy Matt, Chris A., Hero of Light 13, Sony, John M., Ryan D., Noni, Jeb, Dawn B, Yami M, Lee HK, Lisa M, Chevelle, Piggybank, Fiona M, Blue Title Gamer, Ben W, Tick Tick, Xanderoni the Painter, Final Neil, Keeper of Monsters, Jonathan D, Ian Nimmerk, Solaris Stain, Axis, Dabbler the Dalek, Godzilla, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Daniel B, The Name is X, Pedantic Cat, Dove, Red the Supernamic, Pandolce, Scurvy Pirate Hog, Ave Arctic, Quaggle Gaggle, Chad, Jennifer H, Professor Rye, Les, Cameron H, Preston M, Sapphire Scarletta, Alphamon or Yukon, Noah S, Kojiro Highwind, Chase L, Joey the Sonic Fan, Awesome Cakester, Kimiko, Radry, Callum Q, Alex GS, Chestnut Mountain Soul, John the Real Waluigi, Arcfighter, Ty H, Owen BD, Maddie H, KJB, In Zephyr, Finest Cacophony, Nondel, and Tails, Dreamboat and Mox, Derucible, T-Ranger, Jolene B, Shaggy Dog, Jack the Animator, Lewis J, For Sonic Fan, The Marble Gardener, Goosey Tantai, Agent Kaz, Michael P, Navarre, Exodel, Lacey M, Unlikely Veronica, Ty Cyan, Jamal S, Neostrife, Spiral Warrior, Lemur Chicken, Rhythm Raccoon, Joshua S, Miggy Sawdust, Omegawatt, Pig Dan 20, Jinx, Phi, Knights Ubel, Steph Cube, Scourge Time, Chaos Sonic 1, Afro Luffy, Speedweed, The Internet Person, Madeline Blue Star 7, The Cartoonist, Ryoko Shion, Meta Mode, Danny the Light, Frost the White Lion, Agnes S, and Wheels 282 Hedgehog.
You okay there?
Yep, just stumbled a little bit.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
So,
that's many
do
names.
Please clean that up.
I'll think about it. I gotta have some variation between each one, between each episode. Otherwise, people might get suspicious. They're like, uh-oh.
Look, I think they can forgive me for recording it once a week.
I'm joking. I don't really sit there and make sure it's different, just slightly different every time, so you can't tell. Yeah, no, I don't care.
Machiavellian plan is already throwing me off. Is he serious? Is he not? Is he toying with me, or is he toying with me with the idea of toying with me?
I'm toying with you with the idea of toying with you because it's funnier that way.
On layers. I'm stuck in your labyrinth, you sinister minotaur, you.
I'm not really that sinister. I can't come up with that good of a plan.
We will see you Wednesday for another priority episode, Friday for a standard Q&A episode, and let me check my calendar here real quick.
Uh-oh. What's going on? What happened? I'm scared, Ian.
And then we will see you this Saturday for the end of the month live Q&A session.
Whee! It's true. We will be on YouTube streaming once again on Saturdays, so get ready. Come with your questions.
Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
See ya! God, that DuckTales Sonic crossover is incredible.
I just want Glum Gold singing various Eggman themes during battle.
I am the... I was
the Sonic 1 Eggman theme done on bagpipe. I hit McDuck.
I'm still I'm now I'm imagining him doing like the Adventures of theme.
Promotions for none of you. You think I got money to pay you? You think I'm paying you to begin with?
No.
McDuck, snooping as usual, I see. Oh Lord, I killed him.
Was not expecting that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Incredible. Okay, well, on that note, I think it's time to end the BumbleKast. Forever. I think we've officially reached pinnacle. We can't go any further. We're done.
Well, I am going to take a quick break, so I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Woo. We've reached peak BumbleKast. Cool.
We had like a 15-minute boomer here, and it was nothing. But my brother-in-law's friend lost his house to a tree.
Oh.
And there apparently have been fatalities to wayward branches already. So more is on the way, and if I suddenly disappear, it's because the storm gods have eaten the power grid.
Oh, no.
So just so you know.
Okay, cool. Maybe. I don't know. That's not cool, really, but why is it doing that? Why is the weather doing this, Ian? What did you do?
What did I do?
Yep.
I didn't recycle that one can.
Oh, you ruined it.
Captain Planet's got a hit out on it for me.
Well, okay, makes sense.
The power up yours!
Oh, no.
We're the Planeteers. We will string you up because you've totally f***ed up the planet. That doesn't even rhyme. Kill him! Kill him! The monkey just jumps in and takes out your eyeballs. Ah, ah!
No! This is frightening. I'm terrified now.
The eco-terrorist reboot we all wanted for Captain Planet.
Yeah. Finally, really. Nothing fancy going on here. It's hot. There's no weather. It's just hot. Yeah, well, I mean, at least it's not like super duper hot. Right now, it's 93.
That's super duper
which is
hot.
34.
That's too hot.
Yeah.
I know it gets hotter, but no.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
No.
well, let's see. This Friday, the weather is saying it's going to be 106, which translates to 41.
Fuck that noise.
And then, let's see. When is it going to get past 110? I wonder. It's not there yet, but it's close. Oh,
I do apologize if I have offended.
Oh, it's real close.
It's just I, usually keep that in a bottle. But when heat gets into the triple digits, no. Well, let us get through the thank yous, because that's 124 strong.
Oh, boy.
Beg your pardon, 128.
What? Where did all these names come from?
Generous, wonderful people.
Yes. We love you, but holy crap.
Wonderful people. The wonderful people. The wonderful people.
Where were you guys like 5 years ago? I'm kidding. We know. We just you finally found us. Thank you. Good. Anyway.
I don't know. It's always weird to me when somebody comes onto the series late. Not late. Well after I've been involved, But I've been involved for like half the life of the franchise, so that's not really fair on my part.
Reading Sonic Comics. You weren't reading Sonic Comics 5 years ago? How could you not read Sonic Comics 5 years ago? What did the Sonic Comics 5 years ago do to you?
You don't read them now.
So? Just because I'm behind doesn't mean I have never read them. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org. Hi, a question for Mr. Flynn. In episode 2F09, where Sonic plays Eggman's skeleton like a xylophone, then strikes the same rib twice in succession, yet he produces two clearly different tones. I mean, what are we to believe? That this is some sort of magic xylophone or something? Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
I'll take this one, Kyle.
Okay.
What the hell are you talking about?
That episode. The episode in 2F09? You remember?
I know, I'm completing the reference.
Oh.
That's what Homer says in response. For once, I'm in on the joke.
For once you are, yes, and I'm completely out of it. Okay.
I got that reference.
I understood that reference. Yeah. All right, well, fine. We're going to take a break because the Simpsons reference went completely over my head. Man, I'm like, is that a recent reference?
No.
How long ago it was? Okay, maybe that was still.
That was the Poochie episode.
Okay, it's been so long. It's been so long. My brain. Somebody got the Simpsons reference wrong. Homer said that about the Itchy and Scratchy game, not the xylophone question.
Oh, dadgummit.
No, you ruined it. You got it wrong.
I was so proud. I thought I knew this one.
You fake Simpsons fan, apparently. I don't know. I'm just going based on what's in the chat right now and what people are going to be saying in the comments.
I tried.
You ruined it. You ruined it. It's all over.
No, we're going to make this right. We're going to do some movie magic here. Hold on.
Okay. This is all going in. I'm not editing any of this.
So we can leave all this into the post credits.
Oh.
To expose the fact that I am playing fast and loose with the edits. But let's cue up the question again.
Okay.
And give the proper answer to complete the joke.
Okay.
And that way, if anyone stays for the after credits, they can see I'm a fraud.
Oh, well, I mean, there's already people who called you a fraud without any evidence.
Yes, well, throw them a bone for once.
And a bone right in the head.